Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, state election leaders will meet today to recanvass the results of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary. What that means for Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, just ahead.
Also on WKYT this morning, a man accused of killing a Girl Scout troop leader in Lexington will be in court this morning. We'll have more on that case moving ahead in the system now, coming up on WKYT.
Texas is suing the federal government over Obama's guidance that U.S. public schools must allow transgender students to use the bathrooms they identify with. Which other states are involved? When just ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. The rain is coming down in Lexington, KY right now as you rise and shine this morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. You can hear it hitting our roof here at the studio. And it's coming down. You just want to take a nap, don't you?
It sounds like it's pretty steady at the moment, and it will be for a little while. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, this is good rain. Now, this is just that beneficial rain to the yards and a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there, but for the most part, these are just heavy showers. These are rolling across 75 at this moment. Richmond and Madison County picking that up, along with places like Winchester starting to get the front edge of this, but the heaviest rain is actually on its way in about 15 to 20 minutes. Berea, Crab Orchard, Broadhead, Mount Vernon, those areas picking up on this rain now. So Estill County, Jackson County, Powell, Clark, you are next in line, along with Bourbon County too. Temperatures are there in the 60s. It's a nice feel when you're not seeing that rain. So we get into the afternoon talking about a couple of rumbles of thunder. We'll show you a pretty decent forecast today, pretty decent, but it gets very muggy in the next few days into your weekend. I'll have that coming up.
All right, as folks make their plans, thank you very much, Micah.
Today, state election leaders will recanvass the results of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary.
Bernie Sanders requested it after the results showed him losing to Hillary Clinton by less than 2,000 votes in last week's primary. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with more information on what a recanvass involves, and he joins us in the rain from downtown.
Good
Mark?
morning, Bill. The odds are the results of this recanvass will not change the outcome of the presidential primary. And even if it did, Senator Bernie Sanders would still split delegates pretty evenly with Hillary Clinton. Even so, this recanvass shows Sanders supporters that he is still in this race, fighting hard for every delegate. Sanders requested the recanvass because he trails Clinton by less than 2,000 votes, which is less than half of 1%. So what can we expect to see during today's recanvass? Election officials will check voting machines to make sure their vote totals are correct. To be clear, this is not a recount, it's a review only of the race results. Sanders picked up 27 delegates in the Commonwealth and Clinton won 28. So if the recanvass changes the outcome of the primary, Sanders would pick up one more delegate. Now, Kentucky's Secretary of State says that since she has been in office, she has had 8 requests for recanvasses, and none of them have changed the results of the race. Today's recanvass will start at 9 this morning. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. A judge has cleared the way for a Confederate monument to be removed in Louisville. Yesterday, the Jefferson Circuit Judge lifted a restraining order that barred the city of Louisville from moving the statue from its current place near the University of Louisville campus. Louisville city leaders announced last month they plan to remove the statue. But after the Sons of Confederate Veterans complained, the judge issued a temporary restraining order. The judge lifted it after hearing testimony from the monument supporters yesterday. Texas is leading the charge against the federal government's guidance that U.S. public schools must allow transgender students to use the bathrooms they identify with. The state's attorney general filed a lawsuit against the Obama administration yesterday on behalf of 11 states. Don Champion has the latest.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said the federal government overstepped when it told schools to let transgender students use the restrooms that correspond with their gender identity.
President Obama has excluded the voice of the people. We stand today to ensure that those voices are heard.
Paxton filed a lawsuit on behalf of his state and 10 others. The plaintiffs argue the Obama administration, quote, conspired to turn workplaces and educational settings across the country into laboratories for a massive social experiment. The government's May 13th letter to school districts carries no legal weight, but it suggests anyone who defies the instructions could be penalized.
We didn't start the fight, but we will carry it to it.
The White House had no comment on the lawsuit filed in federal court here in Texas. The Justice Department is reviewing the complaint. It released a statement saying, quote, the federal government has strong legal foundations to uphold the civil rights of transgender Americans. This college student worries transgender people will be denied their civil rights if the lawsuit is successful.
These people are people. They're not a statistic. They're not a number. These are your friends. These are your family members.
The Texas Attorney General says he's ready to fight the issue all the way to the Supreme Court. Don Champion, CBS News, Dallas.
9 of the 11 states that are part of the lawsuit are led by Republican governors. Kentucky is not among the states taking part.
A grand jury has indicted a man in connection to a crash in Bell County that killed 2 people. Anthony Brewer faces charges of leaving the scene of an accident and driving on a suspended license. In March, police say his tractor trailer hit a car on US 119 near Pineville, but they say Brewer did not stop. 31-year-old LaVonda Hensley and a Tennessee man were killed. Some items stolen from a Franklin County boat have now been returned, and they came with an apology note from the thief. Frankfort police say a man was caught on camera stealing a boat from the Frankfort Boat Club last weekend. They say he took the boat down the river to pick up 3 friends, and police say the man later broke into other boats at the boat club. The next morning, police say the stolen boat was found, but some of the items on it were still missing.
There's some test equipment off of one of the houseboats on down the dock, and then some flat screen TV off of another houseboat, and I think they got some of those adult beverages off of a boat.
After police posted surveillance pictures on Facebook on Tuesday, and we aired a story on our 11 o'clock news, police say the stolen items were left on the doorstep of one of the boat owners. A note apologizing for the theft was also included. Police say they are still looking for the 4 suspects.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend about a week ago will be in court today.
45-year-old William Pomeroy turned himself in just hours after 43-year-old Amy Kogel's body was found in their backyard. Kogel was the leader of 2 Girl Scout troops locally. And WKYT's Caitlin Setner is live now with the latest on this case. Caitlin?
Good morning, Bill. We could hear police testimony in a Fayette County courtroom later this morning after a mother to 3 and a Girl Scout troop leader was shot to death and found in the backyard of her home. Now, police say she lived in that home with her boyfriend and the father to her children. Investigators say 45-year-old William Pomeroy admitted to them he shot and killed 43-year-old Amy Kogel. Pomeroy will face a judge later today, accused of shooting Kogel multiple times and then attempting to hide evidence of the crime. Kogel's body was found in the backyard of the couple's home Friday morning. Officers say that's 2 days after she was last reported being seen by family. Earlier this week, his attorney waived a formal arraignment and entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Of course, we'll be here for Pomeroy's preliminary hearing later on. We'll update you both online and on air with updates. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. New this morning, police were at a Lexington motel for hours overnight after a truck hit the building. Police say it happened about 10:30 last night at the Motel 8 on Buena Vista Road that's near Winchester Road and Interstate 75. There were no injuries, no serious damage really that was caused there. Police say they're not sure what led to the crash. Buena Vista Road was shut down for about 2 hours and it opened just after midnight. That's around the Winchester Road interchange. New on WKYT this morning, Lexington police looking for the man who robbed Motel 6 off Winchester Road near I-75. This happened just before 4 o'clock this morning. Police say a gunman with a bandana over his face stole cash. They think he got away in a car. They're reviewing surveillance video now.
Also new on WKYT this morning, Lexington police say a man is okay after being shot in the face. That's because they say he was shot with a BB gun during an attempted robbery at Man-O-War and Richmond Road. Police say a man on a bicycle came up to the victim who was walking and tried to rob him before the shooting. No arrests have been made.
A man is facing several charges after what police call a 50-mile chase on Interstate 65. Police say they spotted 19-year-old Tony True's car driving recklessly near Bowling Green yesterday morning. They tried to stop him, but police say True then drove faster. And police say they used a tire deflation device on the car in Hart County. But they say True kept going, even with 3 deflated tires. They say the car finally hit a guardrail in Bullitt County, and police then arrested True. No one was injured in all of that.
A 13-year-old Lexington native is one of nearly 300 participants in this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee. Tirza Shanding made it past the preliminary rounds, but last night we learned she did not advance to today's finals. Tirza spelled all her words correctly, but our news partners at the Herald-Leader report that she didn't pass the preliminary written exam, meaning she didn't have enough points to make it to the final round. But congratulations to her.
Oh, absolutely.
So impressive. These kids are able to spell these long words.
It's unbelievable sometimes, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah, but she represented the community well. 5:41 is the time, and let's check live drive traffic this morning and see what's going on out there. Here's a look at the region this morning. Clean and green, but we have had those showers rolling through. Sounds like it's quieting down a bit in the Lexington area, so those are now moving off to the east, and you may encounter those if you're along I-75 and then I-64 over toward the Moorhead area as those keep rolling on. I-75 now at the Clays Ferry Bridge, and it is wet this morning following those rains. Keep that in mind. And looking on up the interstate here at Manowar, Winchester Road, as well as you can see the rain still coming down at I-75 there at the southern split. So everybody be careful, and the rain will move on out here shortly. Still more news coming up on WKYT on your Thursday morning.
Animal Control had to carry out a very delicate rescue to save 11 ducklings. Find out how the ducklings got into a storm drain when we come back on WKYT this morning.
We have a lot of 5Ks. We have a lot of festivals heading off towards your weekend. Your plans, your personal plans. How are you going to dodge these storms? How many storms are you expecting? A lot of questions for those events. I'll have your answers coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
The heaviest rain has now moved over I-75, and it's racing eastbound. You're getting some heavy downpours and even some rumbles of thunder here and there. This is perfect sleeping weather. These aren't the big boomers that we've had the past couple of weeks. There's nothing like that. You're going to get some distant rumble, and that's about it. Heavy downpours, it's really, really nice to sleep through. Winchester, you're next in line in about 10 minutes. That's when you can expect to roll through downtown Winchester, the bypass area. Then you work back toward Paris, and you can see that in Bourbon County. You're next in line, too, with some heavy downpours. Richmond getting in on the mix as we speak. Waco, I would say another couple of minutes. If you're not feeling it already, slides on through. Heads up Mountain Parkway, some wet weather is heading your direction. 75 is going to be soaked, so will 25. Work your way back 27, 127, still dealing with a few light showers. You've already picked up the heaviest rain, but McKee, you're going to be next in line down 421. And then we work our way southbound. This is just widespread in the southern half. Widespread light to moderate rain. As you go through Whitley City, also Somerset, Williamsburg now getting in on the mix along with London and Corbin. East Bernstadt, if you're not feeling it yet, you will here in a couple of minutes, and that goes down the Hal Rogers Parkway. So it's just a way to go at it for a lot of us early this morning. And Frankfort coming in at 67 degrees along with Lexington in mid-60s. Then we head through your day, and this is picking up on this pretty well. Now let's go through the afternoon. Afternoon, there's really not much going on. Actually, the best chance of rain is right now as we speak. Afternoon, a small chance of rain. Watch as we head off towards your evening hours. We're still looking at a couple of rumbles here and there. And that's about it. So really the best shot of rain is this morning. Then we head towards your Friday. Friday, only a small chance of rain, but then your weekend. All right, so your weekend spring trade days going there in Richmond. For the most part, it's going to be mainly dry, but you can't rule out these heavy downpours as they pass by Monticello, southern Kentucky. It's the Cornbread Festival going on Saturday. You can see only about a 40% chance of rain. None of these days are a washout. That's why I always say stick to those plans. If you have them, just know you can get a heavy downpour over you, and then it moves on by.
Oh, we know, don't we? We just had one.
We just had one, exactly. Right. It lasts about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun, actually. You know, like I said, pretty good rain out there. 5:48 coming up on WKYT this morning. California Animal Control successfully pulled off a very delicate rescue.
11 ducklings fell into a storm drain and got trapped. Aren't they cute? Officers there say the ducklings were trying to cross the road with their mother. Unfortunately, the mother duck was hit by a car and the ducklings fell in. Officers used a snake catcher stick to pull them out one by one. Luckily, none of the ducklings were hurt during the rescue.
Well, that's good, and hopefully,
that's a terrible story that mother got killed.
Yeah, that is. Well, we don't know if she was killed. I assume that's probably the case, but yeah. Tough. But this happens. You know, you have a lot of the reports of them falling into a storm drain this time of year, sometimes just following the mom along. 5:48 is our time on WKYT.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
We'll check traffic and see how things are moving along in the rain this morning, and we're keeping you updated on weather here on WKYT.
Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to WKYT this morning. Your time is 5:52. President Obama continues his visit to Japan today, meeting with world leaders at the annual G7 summit.
And during a news conference with the country's prime minister yesterday, the president expressed his condolences for the recent murder of a Japanese woman in Okinawa, allegedly at the hands of a former U.S. Marine. Tomorrow, President Obama makes a historic trip to Hiroshima. He will not apologize, though, for the U.S. atomic bombing of 1945.
Hillary Clinton tries to put her presidential campaign back on track on the heels of a damning report into her email saga. The State Department audit released yesterday found Clinton failed to comply with agency policies when she used a private email server during her time as Secretary of State. Presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump seized the opportunity with the news during a rally in California while demonstrators clashed with police outside.
A severe storm system that sparked deadly tornadoes in parts of the Great Plains is moving east. A large, violent twister ripped through northern Kansas last night, damaging more than a dozen homes. Multiple tornadoes touched down in the state on Tuesday as well. It has been a rough week out that way.
Many obese young adults are unaware they are at an increased risk of chronic kidney disease.
Researchers at Albert Einstein College of Medicine say between 6 and 11% of obese young adults have elevated levels of a protein in their urine. That signals that their kidneys are not functioning normally. The authors say very few of them were told that they had a heightened risk for developing kidney disease.
And more than 260,000 cancer-related deaths worldwide are being blamed on the global economic turndown that started in 2008. Researchers from Harvard and Oxford say unemployment during the economic crisis may have limited people's access to health care, leading to late-stage diagnosis or delayed treatment. Let's get a check this hour. Today's traffic trouble spots with live drive traffic. Not much going on out there right now, but it is still raining here in Lexington. We can kind of hear it, so just be careful as you head out the door and maybe leave a few minutes earlier in case those roads are slick. Time to check with what's making news online this morning. Bill joins us now with what's happening on the net.
Well, the time is 5:54, and on WKYT.com we'll be on top of the re-canvass this morning of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary. Election officials in all 120 counties will recheck the totals to see if Hillary Clinton's slim win over Bernie Sanders holds up in the Commonwealth. Trending now, Lexington police trying to get a handle on these bomb threats at Walmart locations. The Richmond Road store reopened after a threat came in there last night. A lot of people are making holiday weekend and summer vacation plans, and there are lots of new roller coasters to check out around the country. On our website, we have a list of some of the thrilling new coasters that are going to be out there. Summer comes as more people say they are doing better financially. A survey shows 69% of those responded reporting that they are either living comfortably or doing okay. Still, nearly half say they would have trouble coming up with money to meet an unexpected expense. On Kentucky.com, a look at how state universities are handling budget cuts with layoffs, tuition hikes, and some eliminating some academic offerings. Also, as we congratulate the high school seniors graduating today and tomorrow, there will be changes for students who follow them. You can look at Superintendent Manny Cox's plan for the Fayette County School District on Kentucky.com. And CBS This Morning will follow us at 7 with your eye opener, and of course we'll have local updates. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Wet roads out there early this morning, especially along that 75 corridor and racing eastbound. The heaviest rain right now is already past I-75, and it's rolling through Bourbon County and also Clark County. My friends there in Irvin and Estill County, all that's moving east, and also northern portions of Rockcastle County, so heads up Jackson there in McKee. That's racing eastbound, but you're still getting some developing on the backside. So yes, the heaviest rain's over with here in Lexington, but still a little bit more rain to go down towards Somerset and Pulaski County, and also Wayne, McCreary, Laurel, Rockcastle, Casey. You still have a few showers left over. 127 and 27, those corridors, very wet this morning. 75, very wet. If you're not seeing the rain, you're in the 60s. And check this out. Look over toward Prestonsburg. 70 degrees early this morning. That is a really nice feel. But let me tell you this, we get into the afternoon, mid-80s again, a low to mid-80s that is, and also just a couple of rumbles of thunder later on this afternoon. Your best chance of rain is right now. This afternoon is more like 30%, so really not a great chance later on today. So just enjoy the rain while it lasts. It moves on out for the most part as we go throughout the morning hours. We're going to talk about your weekend forecast and also Memorial Day coming up with another hour of WKYT News. You're about to take off. Remember, wet roads out there. Take it easy. We'll see you later. If not, we'll see you right back here in a couple of minutes.